Boy, I found a very nice start to the week, but it does not last as rain chances move back into the picture late Tuesday, probably holding off, I think, until Tuesday night, but we'll watch that for you. And then temperatures cool as these rain chances arrive midweek, and we may not fully kick out our rain chances until Saturday. Sunday maybe tries to stay dry. We will keep you posted, of course, at cwg.live. I'm Kenwood Walker. This is our weekly Sunday Sunset Live Q&A chat. Don't forget, with Memorial Day next Monday, we'll do our holiday edition Sunset Live chat on Holiday Monday, Memorial Day, in 8 days for a programming note there. Winds are below, and we still do have some breezes around this week. 25-mile-per-hour gusts, it looks like, for tomorrow, and I think our calmest day of the week is Tuesday. Believe it or not, it's fairly breezy, moderately breezy for most of the week, except for maybe Tuesday is the least breezy day of the week. We have also precipitation that holds off Monday and Tuesday. Maybe some showers move in here very late afternoon on Tuesday, but it looks like Tuesday night showers get going a little bit. Maybe storms and downpours start getting into the picture Wednesday into Thursday. We'll keep you posted with rainfall totals looking healthy, at least an inch for most of us, but we could see maybe some downpours starting to edge into the region very, very early on Wednesday. It looks like it's trying to hold off on Wednesday till we see some downpours, but we'll keep you posted if we see a little bit too much rain too quickly as we get into Wednesday and Thursday. That's just a very slight chance for some flooding downpours. We'll keep you posted. Clouds are going to try and stay at bay. Definitely Monday. It looks amazing tomorrow. Blue skies. Maybe a few clouds start moving in on Tuesday. Get a little cloudier. Wednesday, Thursday are our cloudiest days of the week. Trying to get a little brighter for Friday into the weekend, but we can't quite fully kick out those shower chances at the end of this week as well. And now remember, the next 2 days are warm. If you are a warm weather lover, get out and enjoy it because with our rain chances returning, for the daytime. By the daytime, Wednesday into Thursday, we're back in the cooler air, back into the 60s. Luckily, nothing too humid, by the way. Dew point should stay below 60 degrees this week. So with the cool air, it's maybe a little clammy, but not too humid. That's somewhat good news I would offer as we get closer and closer to summer. And again, thunderstorms, downpours are entering the picture. Maybe this is for late Tuesday night. They're trying to hold off until maybe Wednesday, Thursday. But so far, no major widespread severe weather expected this upcoming week, which is great news. One or two strong storms with heavy downpours can't be ruled out. We'll keep you posted. And before I take questions and comments, my fellow allergy sufferers, if maybe you missed my report on CWG.live yesterday, we have a lot of pollen in the air. Almost all categories are represented. Weeds are the only pollen that are low right now, and that gets going, of course, weed pollen into late summer, into early fall. But right now, tree pollen is past peak, but it's still high in this graph below. And grasses are still heading up there, still not really verifiably at the peak for grasses just yet, and that's also in the high category. And mold is also starting to show itself as well. So we are taking as much countermeasures as we can. Temperatures are looking like they're leaning below average for next work week, and precipitation is leaning above average. So that's good news for the drought that does persist. This is a longer term drought. Many of you have seen rains recently, and that's why soil moisture below in the first kind of 3 feet, the top 3 feet of soil, that's doing fine. That's damp, that's wet. That might be your kind of near term experience. It's kind of hard to say, wow, my garden, my crops are kind of doing okay at the moment, though we have a longer term drought. And so I looked deeper, and we do have, below kind of below 3 foot level in the soil, it is getting drier. We have a rainfall deficit over the last 6 months, especially in Page County, there in the red, 10 inches below where we should see rainfall over the last 6 months. So just to break even, to get back to where it should be for the last 6 months, Page County needs 10 inches in the red there. But overall, a little more modest in the rain deficit department over the last 6 months for the region, but it does mimic kind of the longer term drought conditions that we have in our region, though short term, our perception is with the soil moisture being kind of wetter than not over many parts of the region. All right, let me animate precipitation just so you can see as it moves in. Wednesday, Thursday look like wet days. Let me check on Facebook, X, YouTube, and Instagram. I'm Camden Walker. Thanks for tuning in. Hey, Moses, thanks for tuning in on YouTube. Wednesday, I think you will get some dampness on your drive, Paul and April. Good recess days this week are Monday, Tuesday, and maybe Friday. Amy, you're most welcome. I'm glad to report the dew point is behaving itself this week and not staying too bad. Hopefully in the mid to upper 50s at worst this week. And Marshall, thanks for tuning in on YouTube. And Paul, rain is helping the drought to not get any worse. That's kind of the headline as we went through those drought maps, which I'll go over again in just a moment. And Laura, I hope you saw my pollen report. I'll review that again in a moment. And Lewis, let's see. Yes, you saw the rainfall deficits are still there in the longer term over 6 months, but we're doing better in the shorter term. 7 to let's say 15 days have been a little better, as we've seen with some of the high waters in parts of the region. Let's see, Amy. Indeed, you're feeling the high pollen across grasses, trees. Weeds are low, luckily, but even mold is getting high in our region. Ruth Lisa, I currently expect maybe waves of showers and storms Wednesday, Thursday, but Thursday specifically so far doesn't look like a classic washout. So that is some good news if you have outdoor plans or appointments. And we've got David. Good evening to you as well. And thanks again for tuning in, Ruth Elisa. CH Color, thanks for tuning in, Bridge, and Jay Calbison, and Danielle, and Fred, and David. Beaches are looking okay for the holiday weekend. We will give you a beach cast starting, I think, Wednesday of this upcoming week. We'll check out water temperatures and wave heights and conditions for the beaches in Delaware, North Carolina, and Virginia for you, and Maryland. So, Dave, a great question, but generally looking better after Saturday, I think. Tavrim, Medom, and Dauntless. Let's see, Friday looks pretty safe to do things outside. Be a little bit flexible, just have a plan B. The worst of the rain should end by Thursday night as it looks now, Dauntless. But showers do persist into Friday, Saturday, maybe even a couple everyday strength storms, thunderstorms as well. All right, I think I've caught up on questions and comments on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and X. Thanks so much for tuning in. Even I'm live at cwg.live, so we have 5 avenues for doing our weekly Sunday Sunset Live chat. I'm Camden Walker for the Capital Weather Gang. As a programming note, with Memorial Day coming up in 8 days, that's when we'll do our next Sunset Live Q&A for a holiday edition, as we always do, for federal holidays that land on Mondays. Ruth Lacey, you're most welcome. Liz, hello. And let's go through everything again that we want to make sure you've caught it all for this upcoming week. Precipitation holding off until late Tuesday, probably Tuesday night, but we'll see if we get a stray shower Tuesday afternoon. Wednesday, Thursday, pretty darn wet, our wettest days of the week. And it comes with some cooler air that we'll talk about in a second as well. But precipitation amounts are pretty healthy, around an inch for most of us over the next 7 days. The bulk of this falling Wednesday and Thursday, as it looks now. And we could even see maybe some flooding downpours Wednesday, Thursday, but very slight chances as it stands now. Just worth watching, keeping in the back of your mind. This map goes through very early Wednesday. So we're seeing kind of maybe Wednesday to Thursday. If that continues toward us there, I've seen an ever so slight indication for maybe some patchy flooding on Wednesday. Clouds trying to hang on, keep out of here on Monday. Tomorrow looks amazing. Bottom line, blue skies, get outside. Tuesday, some clouds start moving back in the picture, but still generally rain free. Maybe a stray shower near sunset, but the showers generally hold off until Tuesday night. Cloudiest days are Wednesday, Thursday. More peaks of sun, maybe half sunny, mix of sun and clouds on Friday. And then we'll still can't kick out some of these clouds on the weekend, but with shower chances getting lower Saturday, and maybe Sunday is dry, we'll get a little sunnier as we get to the end of the week into the weekend. Temperatures cool down as the rain arrives on Wednesday, Thursday. Those should be our coolest days of this week, stuck in the 60s, as you can see from the forecast at a glance. Maybe this weekend as rain chances kind of dwindle back down a little bit, we get near 70 again. But if you're a warm weather lover, enjoy these first 2 days of the week, Monday and Tuesday, with temperatures into the 70s. We even gave, and I agree with this, I continued this in the PM update tonight at CWG.live. You'll see the latest forecast continues to have a nice day for tomorrow. We declared tomorrow a nice day on Monday. So, sorry it's on Monday for some of you, but that's, we'll take what we can get this time of year. All right, dew points are behaving this week. I think dew points stay below 60 degrees, so we really shouldn't feel too much moisture. Sure, if we see some downpours and kind of cooler temperatures, it could feel like a little clammy at times, but nothing too humid for the DC area. Thunderstorms generally holding at bay for much of this week. I think we should see a couple storms Wednesday, Thursday. Maybe one or two are strong between Wednesday and Thursday, but no widespread severe weather, no major risk of any severe weather. We're just watching maybe for some heavy downpours that could lead to some patchy flooding Wednesday, Thursday, but even that is slight. So just good news. Most, if not all, thunderstorms this week should be kind of everyday, typical summertime thunderstorms. Allergy sufferers, here is your pollen report. Not great news. We have all the allergens possible are in the air. The only reading that came in low was for weeds, which get going closer to the fall typically. But even though those are in the air in a low manner, trees, while still high, are past peak. So that's some great news. Let's go to grasses. Those are getting going still. It's not past peak. We're probably before the peak of grass pollen season, so it's high now. It could get very high before all is said and done for this month. So please watch out for that. And even mold has been starting to spring toward high categories a little bit ahead of time for this time of year. Let's see, next week. So part of this is Memorial Day, but temperatures from the week after Memorial Day, a shortened work week for some of us, they're leaning below average. So we could continue some of this cool air that's moving in for the middle and later parts of this week, as you see in the forecast at a glance above my hat here. So we'll see. Probably nothing really to bundle up for this time of year. Our averages are getting well into the 70s for high temperatures, so don't worry about it too much just yet. We'll keep you posted, of course, at CWG.live. And some decent news as precipitation for next week. The signal is leaning toward above average in the green there, and that's great news for the longer term drought, which, to answer, how are we still in a drought? This doesn't really compute with my current reality or state of affairs that I'm observing with mushrooms in my yard for some of us. Well, that's because near term, we've got a good amount of rain. Short and kind of very short and medium term, the soil moisture is doing great. We've got pools of water, high rivers. We've done pretty good recently. Okay, but longer term drought deals with kind of hydrological issues below the kind of topsoil area. There are dry, deeper soils that we have right now. So as growing season gets going, this rainfall deficit over the last 6 months, and notably in the red there is Page County, 10 inches below where it should be over the last 6 months, just to catch back up to even. It's looking more modest, the rainfall deficit for most of us in the region. That is some good news. But there's just going to be a little bit of tension here between our recent experience with the longer term issues. And given that growing season is getting going, and growing season is getting going, and the sun is very high, our evapotranspiration needs are going to be very high for this time of year. That's why we want to keep an eye on the drought. All right, precipitation animation below while I take questions and comments here on social media, on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and X. I'm Camden Walker again from CWG.live for the Capital Weather Gang. This is our weekly Sunday Sunset Live Q&A chat. Anytime you need us, we are here on the blog and even live on the blog tonight. There's 5 ways to get this chat now, which is great. And programming note, Memorial Day is when our next chat will be 8 days from now for our holiday edition, typical of holiday Mondays for Sunset Live chat then. And at the very top is a headline from CWG.live, and again, forecast at a glance right above me as well. Jatron, thanks for tuning in, and Dawn, and Wrecker, and Toby, and Emily, and Gina. Thank you very much, District Mama, Kate Bradley, Carol, good to see you as well. All right, let's see, we've got Color, and Kuga, and Tifrim. All right, I've caught up on the Instagram comments and questions. Let's check over here with Jim on Facebook. Good evening in Baltimore. I hope you're okay with that tornado that we've been reporting at Capital Weather Gang at CWG.live. Indeed, that was a close call for the Inner Harbor gem. I hope all is okay there. Yeah, significant tree damage with the EF1. Indeed, Donna, hope you're doing well, and you are, I think, in okay shape. Keep me posted. And David, Memorial Day sunset chat next week. Indeed, I'll see you in 8 days for our next. We have a few more minutes here, 5 more minutes, but yes, 8 days from now will be our next Sunset Live chat then. Ruth Elisa, thanks for that. And I think dreary Wednesday, Thursday with some clouds and some cool showers and storms, maybe even some downpours. Carlos, thanks for tuning in from Mexico on YouTube. And we've got Steve and Culpeper, and now in Charlotte, North Carolina, enjoying a couple of days of nice weather. Please enjoy, Steve and Paul. I think you'll get a moderate amount of rain. Let's look over the next 7 days. You'll get maybe a little bit less rain in the Williamsburg area, but still near to around an inch in the Tidewater of Virginia. Michael, indeed, we did, I think, report on our storm damage, and we put up a radar loop that was indeed a powerful storm there in Alexandria. And David, humidity is under control this week. I think here's the dew point scale. We should keep dew points under 60 degrees, which is some good news. A little clammy, maybe a hair sticky with some of these waves of showers, a couple storms and downpours potentially on Wednesday, Thursday, but nothing too bad. And Liz, you're most welcome. Carlos, thanks for tuning in. And Mike, we are not quite out of the drought yet, as we've been talking about. Longer term drought does remain in the picture. Severe drought in the darker oranges and the D2 level drought, the middle of the drought scale there at the bottom. But near term, we've had enough rain to boost our soil moisture, which is great for the short term, for our crops, for our gardens, and mushrooms growing in our yards for some of us. But the rainfall deficit over the last 6 months does remain, notably in the red there, poor Page County, over the last 6 months, 10 inches behind. So just to get back to even with today, it needs 10 inches just to catch up to the zero line. But more modest deficits in the orange and yellow counties in the region. So we're okay, but we just want to make sure we continue to keep kind of these shorter term rains going. And the good news is we do see rainfall over the next 7 days being around an inch, which definitely helps. All right. Hello, Jeannie. Thanks for tuning in. Thomas, maybe a stray shower or two still on Saturday. So watch for your big cookout. Just keep an eye on radar a little bit. We'll keep you posted as we get closer at CWG.live, of course. And Vegan on X, good to see you as well. Thanks for tuning in. And Tyler, we will have our summer outlook closer to Memorial Day. We'll also give you our June monthly outlook as we typically do. And Paul, you're most welcome. I'll see you on Monday on Memorial Day for our next Sunset Live chat. It'll be a holiday Monday edition. And let's see, rain. Dave, looks like shower chances much of the day on Friday as it stands now. But I think, pop-up thunderstorm chances are more likely during the afternoon, but nothing widespread or severe on Friday as it looks now. All right. Jim, thanks so much for tuning in. And that's great. Vivid lightning for you there in Baltimore as well with that tornadic storm. I hear you indeed. Peter, thanks for tuning in. Melissa, JM, Katri, and Ash, and Mrs. Shelley, and Dauntless. Hurricane season so far, there are signs which we should be okay, but I want to watch it. There's still warm difference from normal. The sea surface temperatures are warmer than average, but they're not looking quite as warm as they were last year. So that is some good news, but still above average warmth that could feed some storms in June. We'll need to watch that. All right, let's see. I've got Rachel and Hesant and B Rider and Fee and Round. Thanks for tuning in. And Ruth Lisa, see you on Memorial Day for our next Sunday Monday, Holiday Monday edition Sunset Live Q&A chat. Will be in 8 days after tonight. All right, the next 90 seconds. Let me know if you have any last questions or comments. Let's review things really quick. Precipitation holds off until Tuesday night. Pretty darn wet Wednesday, Thursday as cooler air moves in at the same time. This should be our wettest and coolest days of the week. So get ready. Enjoy the Monday, Tuesday time frame if you are a warm and dry weather lover. Rainfall accumulates over the next 7 days in a decent amount, an inch or a little more in many areas. Could we see some isolated patchy flooding, maybe some downpours Wednesday, Thursday? It's possible, but not too big of a signal just yet. Just keep that in the back of your mind, though. We could see rainfall quickly add up Wednesday and to Thursday. Clouds this week are most prevalent. It's cloudy on Wednesday and probably Thursday. Those are dark, grayish days of the week. So keep that in mind if you are wanting some sun. Tomorrow, Monday, looks pretty amazing. That might be our nicest day of the week, despite the breezes. And let's see, I think I did have that just to show you. Winds tomorrow are still pretty darn breezy, gusts around 25 miles per hour. Our least breezy day this week should probably be Tuesday. Just keep that in mind. And then we've got temperatures this week, warm Monday, Tuesday, cooling down back into the 60s, probably for the rest of the work week, maybe near 70 again, getting a little milder and warmer for the weekend. We hopefully can kick out showers by Sunday. I don't want to overpromise. Saturday could still have a couple showers around as well. Dew points we've been talking about remaining pretty comfortable this week, mid upper 50s, maybe at worst. So that's good. Not too humid. And thunderstorms, luckily, no major severe threat this week. It looks like one or two could be strong. Could see some one or two flooding downpours Wednesday, Thursday. But as they move in, they might, for Wednesday, Thursday, be more of your typical everyday level strength, like a summertime typical thunderstorm, hopefully. That is what we're thinking. And pollen for trees is still high, but coming down past peak. Grass is high and going up toward its peak. Still not at the peak yet for grasses. Mold remains a bit high, indeed, and weeds are even on the books, luckily at a low level, but all possible allergens are participating at this time of year. All right, I'm over my 20 minutes. I'm Camden Walker. Anytime you need us, we're at cwg.live. I'll see you in 8 days for Memorial Edition, Sunset Live Q&A, as we do for Holiday Monday editions. And Salty and BW, BWO and Becca, Color and Ruth Lisa and Dave and Jim, you all take care. Thanks for tuning in, everyone, at cwg.live, Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube. I will see you in 8 days. Have a great Memorial Day weekend and enjoy tomorrow, which looks like a certifiably nice day, even if it isn't on